All right, guys, we only have 3 more problems to go before this review is over. So we're going to start by reading this, and it says, which set of numbers is correctly listed in ascending order? So first of all, you got an A. It looks like an arrow going up. So ascending means you're starting with small and you're going up to big. Look at all these numbers. They're all exactly the same, so don't do too much work. Okay, so just take the time. I would, on my scratch paper, I would write the 3 numbers that I have. I would write 8.3, and I'd draw a line. I'd write 83%, draw another line, and I would write the 8 times 10 to the negative 1. And we're going to change it into a percent, so we're going to leave that one alone. Come over here and take that 8.3 times 100, and you get 830%. Then we're going to take the number in scientific notation, 8 times 10 to the negative 1. We're going to multiply that by 100, and we're going to get 80%. Okay? And we're going in ascending order going up. So that means we're going to start with the smallest one, which happens to be at 80%. So 8 times 10 to the negative 1 has to be our first number. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That is it. Let's check the others to make sure we didn't make a mistake. 83% goes next. It sure does. And lastly was the 830%, which is right there. So we know C is our answer. Again, take your time. Don't work too hard. Don't panic. Try to stay organized on your paper. Draw lines. It helps a lot. And always, always, always use your calculator. Okay? So let's go on to the next problem. Oh my, this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers in it, and it wants them in order from greatest to least. That means we are going down. We're starting with the big and getting to the small, which is descending order. So I'm going to draw my lines. I'm a creature of habit, and it's good to be a creature of habit, actually, because then you are less likely to make mistakes. I have negative 42% there, so let's try the others. So let's start with 3 divided by 7. And I'm going to multiply that by 100 because I want it to be a percent. And I'm going to round it to the nearest tenth, 42.9%. Then I'm going to go to my next line and I'm going to do 0.4. 0.4, that's a decimal. Multiply it by 100 to get 40%. All right, then I'm going to go to my scientific notation for 0.2. times 10, raise that to the negative 1 power, right arrow, multiply by 100, so you get 42%. That's a 4. So make sure we make that right. And then we've got a negative square root over here, so we've got to be careful. Negative square root, SQRT if you're typing it, of 2. To use your right arrow to go to the right, multiply it by 100 to make it a percent, which gives us negative 141%. So if we're putting these in order from greatest to least, we got to use the biggest one first. Those negatives are definitely going to be in the smallest end. So let's look at the others. We've got 42%, 40%, and 42.9. So the 42.9 is definitely the biggest. Then comes the 42%, which is 4.2 times 10 to the negative 1. Then we have 40% right here, which is 0.4, but now we get to the negatives. Think about this because negative numbers are a little bit backwards. So we went from the greatest number, and this time we're going down. So as we pass that 0 mark, are we going to get to negative 42 first or negative 141? We're definitely going to get to the negative 42% first. Then, when we go further down that number line, we'll get to the negative 141%. All right? So that one got a little bit crazy, but you can do it. Again, just use your calculator and keep everything in your calculator. If you keep everything in your calculator, you can go back and make sure you multiplied by 100 every time you needed to. The only time you didn't have to change anything was that 42% there, because it was already a 42%. So stay organized, use your calculator. Desmos is your best friend in this case, okay? And let's look at the last problem. It's asking if this is true or false. Again, what do we have to do? Change these numbers both into percentages. Do it every time. So 5.6 times 10, and we're going to make that to the negative 3 power. Multiply that by 100, and we get 0.56%. Okay, and we're going to do the next one. 7.8 times 10 to the negative 5 power, and multiply that by 100 to make it a percent, and we get an even smaller number, 0.0078%. This is saying, remember if we use our number line, this symbol is on this end. So that means greater. Okay, this one over here means less than. So this is saying is 0.56% greater than 0.0078%. Yes, it is. It is bigger. True. Okay? Because remember, once you know, if you have zeros here, that's not good. This is 78 10,000ths, I think. 10s, hundreds, thousandths, 10,000s, yes. This is 56 hundredths. So 56 hundredths is definitely larger than the 78 10,000ths. So the answer is true. Just remember, guys, take your time, use your calculator, okay? You can do this. We believe in y'all. We know that you can do this, okay? So we'll see you tomorrow. It's going to be a great day.